when you're close to me.
Welcome to the Arctic, the tippy top of the world, and Svalbard. Ever heard of that before? I hadn't. Like most people, before coming here, I had no idea. The Arctic actually covers 8 countries. I sort of had an image in my mind of an explorer racing to plant a flag in the middle of a glacier with a polar bear bringing up the rear. Well, now that I'm here, I realise it's full of wildlife. Mega flora and fauna. We are experiencing the sheer wonder that is at the top of the world. Our Arctic island voyage kicks off in the remote little town of Longyearbyen, the capital of the Norwegian Svalbard archipelago. Our home for the journey is the ultra-luxurious Scenic Eclipse, and with a fleet of Zodiacs on board, we will be spending plenty of time exploring the sights. Do you still get excited?
About this?
Yes.
How could you not? It might look not so much, but once you're there, it's a different world.
Where exactly are we?
We're approximately 130 nautical miles north of the fjord system of Longyearbyen, and we're in a fjord called Krossfjorden, and this particular place is called Signahamna.
Welcome to Signahamna. It's a cultural heritage site, so we'll stick with a tight group and we'll head down that way once everybody's in.
As well as being the home of a former weather station, this remote little island is also home to some of the Arctic's favourite wildlife. We're talking a lot about scat, poop. Excuse me, this is what I've just learned. That is reindeer poo. I just learned that. Reindeer poo. Well, I don't know who was born under a lucky star, but we have just spotted not 1, but 2 reindeer. Apparently they're males because the antlers are so large. I feel like we've hit the jackpot on day 1. Wasn't expecting that. Is this what you would call a polar desert?
That could be used to describe this part of the world for sure. The limited amount of precipitation that we do have stays through the winter, right? It's frozen, you can see all the snow and the ice behind us, but as it melts in the summer, giving fresh water, and the sun, we haven't seen the sun go down yet, have we? Right, so all that sunshine and the fresh water allows the beginnings of the ecosystem. Reframe your mind a little bit. It takes a little bit of time to tune your eyes into the lichen, the mosses, the flowering saxifrage.
I love people like Boris. I love naturalists. I love people that allow you to nerd out on Mother Nature. When I got off the Zodiac, I was looking around, what's here, what's going on? And he taught me to look down and appreciate the little details and how incredible this 2-month period of 24-hour sunlight can be, the extremes of the extremes. Whether it's in the Zodiacs or somewhere on board, the Discovery team are always ready and waiting and up for a chat.
It's just the passion. It's the passion that staff have, that's why we're here, and passion about the environment and the places we're going, and that's what the Disco staff love, when people start listening to them about their passions.
From whale watching to polar bears and a few cheeky seals, the Arctic is delivering up the goods. Bird out, nerd out. This little guide was left in all of our cabins, and I'm loving it. I have a guide to all of the birds, the mammals, the wildlife, flora and fauna that's here in the Arctic, so I can reference everything. This is a bird lover's paradise. So which birds are we seeing here?
We're seeing the little auks, or dovekies.
The most numerous seabird of the high Arctic.
And the cutest.
And the cutest. In the cold Arctic climate, It's survival of the fittest for all the species, both large and small. So in those intense summer months when you have the midnight sun, that's when thousands of species of birds come here, and then they nick off when it gets dark, and only the toughest species will stay here through those dark months. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly true.
And then there is the ever-elusive Arctic fox. The camouflage of that Arctic fox is incredible. So it totally changes its colouring for the summer months when all the birds flock here. Is that right?
Yeah, in summer they'll shed their winter fur, and they'll go back to the brown grey colour that you'll see over here.
The Zodiac excursions are completely optional, so you can always take in the scenery from the comfort of your luxurious suite. But there are some locals you just don't want to miss. This former settlement is called Smeerenberg, but it actually has a very unique nickname. And why did they call this Blubber Town?
Smeerenberg. In the 1620s, 400 years ago, there were more than 200 people living here and whaling. And this started with the Dutch. So Smeerenberg means Blubber Town in Dutch.
These days, it is known for some other rather blubbery animals.
The walrus is now the only one of their species. There's only one type of walrus left. And they need the blubber to stay alive in these conditions.
Okay.
They have a huge amount of fat just to stay warm.
Okay.
The way they pile up on each other, that's just a social behavior. They do not need it for warmth. They are warm enough on their own.
You could just watch them for hours, couldn't you?
Especially in the water when it's getting pleasure. Very cold water, and you can see it's really enjoying it.
He's loving it.
Yeah.
While they wallow in the cool waters of the Arctic, me, I'm going down to do a little wallowing all of my own. I think there's 3 hot tubs on board, all of them with an amazing view. And I don't know about you, but for me, to be sitting here watching icebergs go by whilst I'm floating in here, it's pretty darn surreal. Can you hit the bubbles button, please? Thanks.